Mm, hello. Welcome to Brothers and Blues. Let's
Welcome
see.
back, brothers.
An error occurred. It's not streaming to our page. Well, we'll deal with it.
Yeah,
Hello, Doug. How you doing?
good. How are you, man?
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, man. I
Um,
gotta pop one open too because it's been a week.
to say the least. What is that again?
This is a coffee blonde ale.
Oh, okay.
That's part of my beer mail from Florida, from Daughters Brewing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, coffee blondes are always kind of interesting. They're either really awesome or kind of eh.
Yeah, and I got a beer that I've been looking for a while. Remember this? So,
Oh, that was the first one, yeah.
yeah, the first one. So I'm not showing up on the green screen too well, but it says COVID, and it's from Ale Asylum. It's a charity beer that they're doing. Pilsner. It's look at that. It's so clear you can see through my green screen.
Yeah.
You first.
Um, it's pretty standard ale, little coffee flavor, coffee on the nose, not overpowering, just very drinkable. Nothing that I would call remarkable, but good.
Good. Yeah, the same thing. It's a pilsner. It's crisp. It's nice. It's light. Lawnmower beer. I'm not going to comment whether it's a shower beer or not because I wouldn't know, but we'll get there later. And it's nice though, man. It's nice. Perfect for the time of year. Again, I love the sentiment on the can, and I also love that it's a charity beer, and I also love that it's $6. It's $1 beer. So, cheers.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, interesting background, Greg. Yeah, absolutely interesting background. Which leads me to, I have to make a statement before we start everything here, Doug. I didn't think that I had to make this statement, but I feel that I have to, because given the current times, I have to put out there that Black Lives Matter, and it's very, very important that people understand that I believe that, and my co-host believes it, and that's what basically I really have to say about it. All lives matter cannot, be all lives unless Black lives are included. So that's where I'm at. If you dislike that, we can have a conversation. I am not one of those. If you dislike it, you can just cross me off on the list. If you're willing to have a conversation about it, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. But other than that, Black Lives Matter, and that's my statement.
Hooray!
Anything to say, Doug? Because you're part of this, and so I'm giving you time to respond.
Well, obviously, you and I are in agreement on that. It's hard for me to really say a lot, only because my perspective is, white male. So the other thing that I can do is just try to amplify people who are Black and people of color, and just try to raise their voices as opposed to mine, because there's plenty of people that look like me that can have their voice in this, and we should have our voice in it, and that we should help stand up for those folks. But the idea of me having a lot to say is a little challenging on that. But and it's uncomfortable, but it should be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It should be something that it should be uncomfortable for me to know that you don't have the same rights as I do in a lot of places. That should be uncomfortable. So,
because it's uncomfortable for me, I'll tell you that. So anyway, on that note, I wish to move on with our show and bring in our guests here after we give them a little bit of further ado. I met Creed at Dad too. I would assume you did too, right, Doug?
Yep, I did. We talked online a bit for the dad bloggers group, but I met him in person. But yeah,
it's nice that dad bloggers group on Facebook there, where it's a really nice tight community. But also though, it's nice if you attend Dad too at some point. If you're already in there and then you go, a lot of the guys that you're going to see, so it's just really easy to jump in and all that. So before we get to Creed here, let me get the comments on our opening statement. So Andy agrees. Here's Andy's. Talk to you soon. Preach. I'm not sure who that is, but it's cool. And I was going to save this comment, but Jeff Tepper says that there's no such beer as a shower beer.
Yeah, he can fuck off.
Oh, wow. do we
need man? We got a boxing ring in the background. Let's go.
Look, man, my beer never reaches the shower. Again,
hey, that's acceptable.
Listen, let's bring Creed on before we get way too in the weeds with this, because I'm about to. What's up, Creed?
Yeah, we're gonna lose control of
that.
What's up?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Creed.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You see, we get heated about the real issues like shower beers, man, and top sheets. I mean, around here, it's kind of cutthroat, Creed. I hope you're ready.
I don't know that I'm ready. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm confident in you.
Right.
Where did this start?
The shower beer. Okay, so we're just gonna jump in. So
yeah, might as well.
So well, we also want to make sure what's in your glass. Do you have anything that you want to talk about, or you just drinking water?
I have water in my glass. I'm sorry, but I'm hydrating. Now this glass, it's I don't know if you can see this, but it's from Books and Brews.
Oh,
Watch
cool.
me spill my water all over my computer. It's a local brewery here. There are a couple of different locations in Indy. And the cool thing about it is it's a community. And during the quarantine, they continue to do like trivia online. The CEO of the company, he's been doing some Facebook Lives, just like coffee chat in the morning. But it's a place where before everything was shut down, families could get together there. We went there for Father's Day last year, and they paired donuts from a local donut place with some of their brews. So it's a really fun place to go. You walk in, there are families playing games together. They had Harry Potter trivia the last time I was in. It's a good time.
Cool. And tell everybody where you're from, Creed, so everybody knows where, if they're close to you.
Everybody needs to know, first of all, that I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And I am not ashamed of that in the least bit. I'm very proud of that. It's home. I love Cleveland. I have been in Indianapolis for close to 20 years now. So I'm in Indiana now, but Cleveland's always home. The Hoosiers here, they're nice people. It's kind of like my adopted home. It's my kids' home. So it's a very special place. Lots of fun things here. But you talk to me about Cleveland, I get a little weak.
Okay. So
we'll get there.
Yeah. If your question about shower beers, let's just hit this off at the top and we can move on. Doug is a proponent of shower beers, which is, at some point, whether you're, I think, Doug, actually, do you want to explain it and then I'll jump off?
Yeah, well, shower beers are, some days it's just a long day, and I love super hot showers and a cold beer in the shower. There's a nice, weird dichotomy in here that I love, especially if you've been working outside all day. And I don't take cold showers. I always take my showers super hot. But some days I just take a beer in there and I stick it in like the caddy up there, and then I just take a nice hot shower and have beer with it. And apparently that is a no-no for some folks.
Well, I guess the whole thing with the shower beer is that you just grab one from the refrigerator and you just head to the shower and you enjoy it in there and all that. Well, I guess I did a faux pas last week, Creed, because what I was, we had a crazy show last week. It was fun. And then afterwards, I just kept drinking. That normally doesn't happen. I know everybody assumes that happens, but normally I'm done drinking after the show. But so last week I was like, boom, and then the lady was having some drinks, so it was really nice. We were like, shh. So I'm like, oh, I need a shower. So then I just, I had a beer and I just took it in the shower, took a picture, put it in my group, and all hell broke loose, in my opinion. All hell really didn't break loose, but it felt like that way to me.
Was it because you had it in a glass, or
right? It was
okay?
the part. I didn't see or feel anything about it, man. I'm just like I was like, oh, shower beer, let me experience this, and it just was a
so
again,
like a unicorn sighting, or
I don't know. Like,
so let me ask this: I don't really have
worried about me, Creed. They were quote
weird word. What were you gonna ask, Creed?
Here's my question, since I really have nothing to add to that conversation. Is there such a thing as a shower coffee and shower tea? Like, is this only
right
for beer? Is there, I don't know, a shower Diet Coke? Like, what? I don't know. I mean, because I got nothing to add. I got nothing.
I'm not going to defend shower beers after my.
Well, I mean, to each their own. If that's your thing, that's your thing. That's cool.
But no, Craig, I think your question was absolutely directed at Doug Ziegler.
So I will have other drinks in the shower, but not like a coffee, because that requires you putting it in a coffee cup, as opposed to like if something's in a can or a bottle already. Even a bottle, I'll take a bottle in there as long as I put it in a caddy. So the glass is just a bigger opportunity for you to drop it, I guess.
To get suds in the suds.
So maybe. You guys are way too. I'm not even gonna get.
Yeah.
Shower beers are life. First sip, Brewbox says.
Yeah.
Tony wants us to shower any way we wish.
Apparently.
I also appreciate them saying always got to drink water. Mad respect back to you. I appreciate that. Gotta hydrate.
Pro shower beer. No pro shower seltzers though. It has to be beer. Or no seltzers, period. Okay. Always gotta drink water in the shower?
No, because I said I had water in my glass.
Okay,
two separate conversations. So.
I thought it was a water shower. I'm don't water the beer down. Pepper says, I'm glad that Creed is not here for the shower beer.
Hey man, Creed's allowed to be wrong. It's okay. We still love him.
I'm gonna choke on my water.
Right. So I guess the lesson is that I can't just have a beer open like this and take it into the shower. So that's what I'm learning about.
Who says that you can't?
Because the people in the group. Again, everybody's like, oh, shower beers, it's really nice and it's great. And then they don't tell me any fucking rules. Then when I break the rules that didn't tell me, Creed, yeah, I'm going to get big screen for this. When they tell me that I broke rules that I didn't even know about, I thought it was just a casual beer in the shower. It was all good. Like, forget it. So
it's like
and this isn't to Doug Ziegler. This is to shower beers in general. Fuck you. And I don't really give a shit. There's too many rules for shower beers. Too many rules.
Well, all right. Here's the last thing I'm going to say on the subject, because again, I really have nothing to offer.
You don't have a bag in this fight.
I don't. But the only analogy I can make to this is, if you have a yard that you mow, there's some people who cross cut. There's some people who go with the straight lines across. I think it's a matter of preference, my friend.
Of course.
So,
but I can still bug Doug about it. But actually, Doug's not even my problem, though, because Doug didn't come after me. So I guess he can't even come after me. Shit.
I was like, go Greg.
Right. And everybody was like, So Jeff says there's only one rule. Don't do it.
That's from a guy that's a Bostonian, so their opinions are a little bit squirrely.
So I know Creed wanted to get to this. I prefer really not to talk about it, but Creed really wants to talk about it, so we will, which is, do we have two Browns fans here? And the answer to that question, Andy Huffman, is 100%.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we talked about the Browns. Doug, what's your no? So So, Creed, I guess the question is this the year?
Depends on what we're talking about, because there's a low bar. When most people say, is this the year? It's like Super Bowl. We're not even worried about that right now. We just want to get to the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Okay, so
there are children walking around that have not known a Browns team to go to the playoffs. There are children walking around that have not known the Browns to have a franchise quarterback. There are children that walk around that think that the Browns, like the first pick in the draft, always goes to Cleveland. We got to do something about that.
So, answer my question. Is this the year for that?
Playoffs, yes.
Oh,
I'm calling it.
Bold take.
I'm calling it.
Okay, so that means
playoffs.
So that means Doug,
because here's the thing, and I know there's a question coming later that I'm going to go ahead and answer now. Okay, the question later is, was the one thing you don't want to think about?
Oh,
I don't want to think about the Browns firing a coach and trying to draft a quarterback for about the 50th time in my lifetime. Someone was asking me the other day, one of our backups is a starter somewhere, and I said, I can't remember because there have been 30 in like the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to think about us firing a coach, finding another quarterback, and just, blowing up the team again and starting over from scratch. I don't want to deal with that.
Doug?
Sorry, I may have jumped there.
That's okay. We can talk about it at any point. And
sure.
If we're going to do this now,
yeah.
The thing I don't want to think about is humidity, because I hate humidity. I hate having swamp ass. I hate working out in the yard. I despise humidity. Ugh.
Humidity does stink. It ruins like good warm weather.
Yeah, you can be warm. That's okay.
Right.
I start sweating before I even start doing anything. Mm-hmm. I'm not happy.
Not only that, if you fly to some place that has humidity and like you get out of the airport, it's like the humidity comes in and force chokes you and just like lets you know that you are not in control of anything that you are going to be able to do. It just lets you know from the get-go. What's up, Victor? I see Victor.
Yeah. Andy wants to know, oh boy, what did I start? So we can get back to the Browns. I'm kind of going to take us a little bit off, but
okay.
The thing that I don't want to think about is this press bullshit that the NFL just put out about how now they understand why the players were kneeling, and now they really get it, and we're all supposed to just wrap our hands around them and understand that they now understand racism is a thing in the NFL. And I'm pretty sure, I guess they didn't get it before because they made some rules that people can't kneel. This whole thing did not age well for them. And I just don't really want to think about it, even though it's on my brain and they are annoying the hell out of me, even though I'm an NFL fan and I'm going to fucking go and watch the stupid effing games anyway. Anyway, how are you guys doing this week? You see why I have a ring back here?
We're getting ready to rumble.
I came ready to boom, boom. But listen, I also came ready with this thing, Doug. It's, I don't know. Well, how can we get to see
the green screen is messing it up
here? Gin and tonic. One of my favorite drinks, I never had it on a show, is gin and tonic. Are you a gin and tonic kind of guy there, Creed?
Can't say that I am. I don't know that I've ever had one, to be honest with you.
Oh, I love them.
It's a super refreshing, like summer drink because it's really crisp.
Are you talking about this gin and tonics in general, or both?
Gin and tonics. I have not had that particular one you've had, Greg.
Ooh. This could be a shower beer if shower beers weren't assholeish.
I was waiting. I just knew. Oh.
Are you happy you agreed to this creed?
It would not go well with the humidity of the shower.
No. But this is crisp, nice. This is what Doug calls a lawnmower drink. Nice, shareable. I actually would like a little bit of. I know again, people are probably gonna make fun of me. I like a little bit of Chambord in it, make it a little bit cherry. It's really nice, actually. I like this a lot. This is from Southern Tier. All of our people who watch us know Southern Tier is a beer company, but they obviously have a distillery, right? And then they make these. What's going on, Doug?
Yeah, I have a bourbon from them that is only 4 years old, so it's a little rough. But they've branched out into seltzers and they've gone all over the place. So yeah.
So Doug, we need to get to your second beer, and then we need to talk. We need to get to what Creed does on the side and all that other good stuff.
Yeah. So I picked this up because of the name, Sazzy Sazborn, and the old Ozzy Osbourne font, but also it's a Saz hopped Pilsner. So not something that you see a lot. So
not advertised. I believe a lot of pills use Saz, but
they don't advertise it well.
I believe. Somebody tell me I'm wrong in the comments.
I could be wrong. I mean, look how clear that is. It's pretty nice. It seems a little hazy because my glass is dirty, so apologies there. But because I can never get the glasses fully clean because our water is so freaking hard. But
so
that's a legit issue. Got that in Cleveland too. It's a hard water town.
Yeah. Kolsch. That's more Greg style beer. I am a Gosa fan when it's like a humidity style thing. But
you and your damn Gosas.
So this is not as crisp as I would like, because Greg, you and I are both fans. If you're gonna make a Pilsner, it's got to be snappy. It's got to be real crisp.
Right.
It's way more hoppy and not nearly as crisp as what I would like out of a Pilsner. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but I would expect a little more crispness out of it. I wonder what it is on the can, because that's always something that we forget to look at. So
do you like hoppy?
I am not personally a fan of really hoppy beers.
Okay.
I like them dark and heavy mostly, but I've also, since I've been doing the show at Greg, I've come to find other lighter beers that I really dig. This one doesn't have a date on it, so I have no idea. But
we'll go back to that. Doug, you wouldn't be comfortable in coastal South Carolina, Doug.
No, I visited there going to the Outer Banks. And at least on the Outer Banks, you're by the ocean, so you have the ocean breeze, so it's not as unbearable. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Jill and I went to New Orleans in April, and it was
ooh.
I was like, oh, April, it won't be so bad. And I was like, it's 80 and 95% humidity.
Ooh.
And I was and the place we stayed didn't have air conditioning.
Oh,
it was rough.
Oh.
So I get let's clear up some comments here on my little NFL rant. So that doesn't get Kaepernick his career back, does it?
No.
Okay. NFL just saying what you want to hear. They realize they were on the wrong side of history. Correct. NFL not fucking likely in this case. And let's see here. Next year, that's are we getting Creed at G&T?
Tonic, baby.
Oh shoot.
Well, that leaves a lot up in the air because we haven't really even talked about how the Dad 2.0 has been kind of split. So we'll see how that breaks out.
You just brought it up.
Are you going to LA, Jeff?
I am not, because for the cost prohibitiveness of the flight is mostly why. Also, that has said that they are going to be more focused on the business end of it. That's not really my bag. So I'm not going to take up time for people. I'm going to miss everybody, but I'm also not really a person that's really interested in really marketing my blog. So
when is that?
The same
October,
week as
something.
Yeah, same week as the weekend before Dad HomeCon or whatever. Remember, Greg?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Or is it the same weekend?
something, but
Yep.
is that going to go off? Either one of them? I'm just asking.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
And our state fair just got canceled recently.
When's that?
It's usually like the very end of July or the beginning of August, and then runs for, they extended it because so many people were going. But yeah, that just got canceled. So I'm going to have to figure out how I can make fair food in my backyard. I'm going to make some turkey legs. I'm going to figure out how to, I don't know how to deep fry stuff, but corn on the cob, I can do that. And, you know, maybe make some carnival games in the backyard, the overinflated basketball and the smaller rim, and charge neighborhood kids some money to try and win stuffed animals from my kids' room. You know, we'll figure something out. We'll call it a garage sale, but it'll be a state fair.
You nailed it, brother. I'm sorry, go down.
Does your kids have like 8 gazillion stuffed animals? Is that what you're trying to get rid of?
Yeah. We can always downsize.
You nailed it though with the state fair. To me, like, it's the food. Like, that's why you go.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the 600 things fried on a stick.
Oh yeah. I don't even remember what last year's was. It was like deep fried ice cream or something like that. And the place that had it was on one side of the fair. So I was sent as like the family, you know, representative to go and procure the stuff. But then I have to find the family while holding these 3, you know, deep fried ice creams and hoping they don't melt. And finally I just put out the SOS. I said, y'all got to come to me because this is going to melt. So I'm walking around with like melty ice cream and I don't know. But yeah, the food is the thing to me.
Is there a particular food you prefer at the fair? Like, is there one you go, I gotta have this if I go to the fair?
Yeah, we have a routine. All right, now this is bad. I'm going to reveal too much here. This is really bad. So you have to get the lemon shake-ups that are made with real lemons, not the lemon concentrate or whatever. And easy way, if there are no bees around the tent, that stuff's not real. So you got to go to a different tent. You want the lemon shake-ups you want to see them actually take a lemon and squeeze it and then, you know, mix up the sugar and whatnot. So that's what you have to do. And that's my wife's thing. She loves that. But yeah, turkey legs. We do, there's like fried cheese, fried veggies. I don't really mess with those too much, but you know, the family likes them. We always do a corn on the cob. And then there's a grilled cheese sandwich where they take like all the different types of cheese. It's like the Franken cheese something. I don't know. It's something ridiculous, but it's really good. And then we usually pick out something new that year that we'll try. But this year we'll have to make it up on our own.
What are you gonna say, Doug?
Oh, sounds like you got a plan in there. So at least you guys know, all right, we're gonna go here and we're gonna get this, and this. And then you have kind of the wild card at the end. So
right. I mean, there's an order. There's an order to things.
Yeah.
We're so bad that we've got the cups from the previous year because if you go in, like, this is really bad. I'm talking out of school. But anyways, what you do, you go in and you pay for a refill instead of paying for that first cup, and you save like $4 or something ridiculous. So there's a whole strategy behind it. And then the children like to go see the animals.
Yeah.
That's not my thing either. And always wear closed-toed shoes, especially go see the animals.
Right. Look at this. How to do state fairs. This wasn't even on the plate.
No, that's okay. But I was like, man, I want to know what you guys do when you go to the fair.
I do have a post somewhere. I don't remember which side I put it on, but it was like a whole rotation of what to do. Make sure you wear closed-toed shoes. And then I always get a selfie with a llama, which is a little crazy. And make sure they don't spit on you. But
Yeah, they do.
They do.
So Creed, tell us about your website and when you started it, and how you doing in this time of where you got to sit home. How you creating content and all that?
Well, it's a little crazy. I think I was trying to figure this out. I said, how long have I been writing? Originally, my website was talesfromthepoopdeck.com because I couldn't find another name that fit. This all originated out of Facebook. I was writing posts. I think it was during a spring break. I was like, Captain's Log, diaper date, and then I, counted the number of days since my daughter was born, and that was the diaper date. And then I talk about our adventures, the crazy things we did, or things that the kids said. And as they got older, I stopped telling their stories to kind of not protect them, but they're their stories. I didn't feel like I owned those, and with our family, I didn't feel as though it was the right thing for me to share. If when they're older, they want to, I've got plenty of pictures and I've got plenty of stories. We can go back and fill those in, but those are theirs. So it's become more about my experiences as a father. And recently I rebranded about a year ago to My Captain's Log. Because I did have a company that said, well, your website isn't appropriate for our readers. I said, really? They said, poop deck. I said, it's a nautical term. And they said, oh, but yeah, it's not appropriate. So I thought I would switch things up to make it more family friendly. Although as you scroll through, I don't swear on the side. I don't put inappropriate pictures or anything like that. Just like to try and have some fun with it.
Right.
So I think what you're talking about is exactly how I've kind of moved in that, my kids are all teens. So like if I write stuff, if they're included, it's very vague. And and I also, if they're included, I ask them, are you okay with me publishing this?
Yeah.
I run it by my wife as well because, she's in some of them. And I think it's important that you get them to understand they have ownership of their own story. So,
right.
I'm with you. Just kind of like, if it's not your story, you could say, hey, I think this is funny. Can I write about it? If they say no, you go, okay, that's cool. We don't have to do that. One other thing I did want to talk about was, I cannot remember the name of the post, but you did a post about going back to your roots.
That was a rough one.
What's that?
That was a rough one.
That was one of the most powerful things I've ever read out of the Dad Bloggers community. That was outstanding, and
that's saying a lot, actually.
And
really,
I remember just reading it, and when I was done, I was just like, "Whew." And I told Jill about it, and she read it. She did the same thing, and I'm going to tell you that was just super impactful. And I don't know if you want to say a couple words about it. It would be.
Hold on, let me jump in. Is this the one that Creed read in front of Dad too? Right? Because you read in front of Dad too, right, Creed?
Right. That's the one. It's called the Legacy of Resilience.
I remember this. Okay, Creed, and then I'm sorry. Yep.
So I don't remember how long ago this was now, but I was getting text messages and emails from my mom, and there was a family reunion that was coming up, and it didn't exactly fit with the timing as far as like what we had going on. And, I wanted to go, but I wasn't sure that I could go. And then I got a phone call from my mom. It was one of those phone calls, you get from relatives who are like, I know you're busy, but you need to come and check this out. And they had started in, I think, Columbus, Ohio. And they were in a house that was part of the Underground Railroad. And I don't have all of the details because I don't remember, but this was the thing that convinced me. And my mom was talking about how they were going through this house, and it was a place that our ancestors had at some point traveled through. And she said, tomorrow we're going to be in Kentucky. You should come down and meet us. One of my cousins had done a lot of extensive research, and that picture there that you're actually showing, she had narrowed down where our ancestors as slaves had worked. And she thought that the slave quarters may still be there. So I hopped in my car, and I say this in the post, and it was all kind of jarring to me because on the way there, I didn't really know what to expect. There were some family members that I didn't really know well. And, not for fear of meeting them or anything like that, but it's all a new experience. So we traveled down and we met at another location first, and then we all drove to this farm because it's a farm now. And we had this eerie feeling. We all parked in the property next to the farm, and everyone kind of lined up on the property line. And there are about 20 of us. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like walking onto somebody's property that I don't know, especially given the times that we're in, right?
Right.
Well, my dad is one of those people that will talk to anyone, and he put himself out there. There was some guy riding on a machine in the field, and my dad crosses the property line, and we're all just standing there, and a couple of people are like, don't go. I don't know that's a good idea. And my dad, he's gone. And he hails the guy down. The guy sees all of us, and he explains that my cousin had done all this research and family had come from all over, and they allowed us onto the property. And so we walked on the property, and, my mom uses crutches. She has, after our car accident, she has some mobility issues. And at some point, she had to go back and sit in the car. And it just got me to thinking. I said, I drove up in a car with air conditioning, navigation. I got the GPS, I got my radio, I got podcasts, I got, whatever from a house that I owned. And I showed up here, and this is the land that my people worked on. And from the research that my cousin did, apparently they escaped from there, went to Canada, came back to Ohio, and served in the Union Army. And if you think about the logistics of that, I had shorts on. You talk about humidity and everything else. I mean, it was summertime, so it was hot. I had bottled water. I was miserable. We walked for 20, 30 minutes trying to get around to the spot, and it was overgrown. We weren't able to actually get in, but we think that the structure there actually was part of the slave quarters. But that really hit me, how far we've come and what we've had to do to get here. So thinking about what clothes or what possessions they left behind or what people they left behind, to get all the way up to Canada and then back to Ohio. And then, hey, by the way, you're going to fight in a war too. So it's not just you get to the finish line and it's all over, but it's a long journey. And, it kind of fits in with everything that we're seeing now, that idea of resilience. And people, have a hard time seeing how some of modern day events, go back as far as slavery. And it's a good reminder to me that people pass down a lot of opportunities to me. And I have another post that I think I shared with you all about it's our turn to labor, whereas they've passed down these opportunities to us. What are we going to pass on to our kids? So, sorry, I talked a little bit too much, but
no, you did not.
That was that experience, and that picture. I've got a printed out picture because people really don't print out photos nowadays, but I have one of us on the field. I was towards the back of the crowd. And so it was kind of awe-inspiring to see this family walking through the land together. And everyone was real quiet. That was the other thing. Everybody was kind of contemplating and thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Was it was surreal, right?
It was. And then afterwards, my parents and my sister and I, we sat down, we had dinner, and we kind of talked about it. And then I hopped in my car and I'm driving back, and that's when it's hitting me again. I said, I'm traveling, I forget how, 5.5 hours by car. How long would that take me by foot? How would I know how to get there? And it's just, it was eye-opening in a number of different ways.
And I thank you for sharing that story. Doug knows, part of me and Doug's little shtick is that like we make fun of each other and we play off each other. And this is why I have Doug around as a co-host. Because he can't listen, where I'm deficient, he brings it up. He backs me up. He backs us up. This is our show. Fantastic. But he asked a fantastic question, a timely question. I don't know who booked you, but they did it at the right time. It is everything. Thank you, Creed, for going on. Now we're going to no. I mean,
here I thought you had me on the show for my devastating good looks, but apparently
that's what it said in the byline, man.
Yeah, now the truth comes out.
No, but the truth is, Doug's awesome this way. And thanks for asking that question, Doug. And Creed, thanks for the story and the experience.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, well, being able to, go through that experience and then express it in the way that you did and moved a lot of people. So kudos, man. And again, that obviously clearly, let's bring it up again. Clearly, this is an ageless wonder here. Or what do we call these? What do we call in the blogger world? Evergreen.
Evergreen.
You know what I mean? I like to say aged well too, because some things, don't age well, and some things age beautifully. So I put the at the bottom here, it's scrolling, but you could also do Captain's Log, and then if you go there, and I found it because I just punched in what did I punch in? I didn't even punch in a Legacy of Resilience. I punched in something else. And I don't know, it came up. So it's not that hard to find if you go to Creed's website, is my point. If I found it in that 2 minutes, you can find it.
Now, hopefully, when I go back and look at my stats, it doesn't show, found your website because they search for humidity and shower beers down at the bottom.
Creed.
Hey, those are great keywords, Creed. Come on.
Well, that end, we're going to make you famous, and then you're going to come back later and be like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah, we haven't even got to top sheets yet.
So one of our commenters, we're very familiar with him. He's happy about what was said there. So
Jeff's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Despite his lack of shower beer approval.
And you don't like Jeff for his like he's a Boston guy. Are you?
And that's all right though.
Are you down with that?
You got to be a fan of your team.
Creed, you're nice, but Doug's not.
Oh no, I dump on the Boston stuff all the time.
Creed, you're way too.
More, I want to be clear. It's mostly I like aggravating Aaron Gavea. That's really just.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
And he's going to be on our show next week, Creed. So it's going to be more.
I was going to say we could put that down there now. We're going to have Afro Beer Chick and Aaron Gouveia. So I'm not sure you may have Aaron Gouveia was on our show, and then Afro Beer Chick was commenting and going back and forth, and they had a really good chemistry, even though she wasn't even on the show. So we're like, wait, why don't we have you both back? So they're both going to come here, and it's going to be pandemonium.
It's going to be nuts. I'm not sure Greg and I are going to have a chance to talk that show.
Oh, and they're both very given the current of events. I'm gonna bring like one bomber. I think I'm just gonna bring a bomber and just like sip on like a big ass beer like that.
I think you guys could probably just sit back and you know.
Yeah, it'd be like watching a tennis match. Just
So, yay, Boston. And then I don't even know if I want to click on this next
oh
comment.
no, who said yay, Boston? Oh, that was JHG. Ah, I lost all respect for you.
Yeah,
That's
you
Jay.
know, Jeff, I said nice things. I tried to help you out, but that's just wrong.
Doug also hits.
Oh yeah,
Great. That's what I was like. I don't even know if I want to even go here with you two.
yeah. Let's not because I'll get angry, and I don't want to be angry.
And 3 though, Jeff. Come. Anyway.
All right, let's move on from that nonsense. I'm going to open another beer on that note.
Okay.
All right, I'm opening a big one, but I wanted to open this because I bought this for 2 reasons. One, the Delirium makes great beer, but this one is made all by women, and it's like a breast cancer awareness, a limited edition. So it's a blonde Belgian ale. So I really like their stuff. So I saw this and I was like, ooh, I'm going to get that.
So I'm gonna do an in-show mix. I don't like the third beers that I got. They don't go with what I just had. So I'm about to go get an IPA.
Go Audible.
I'll be back.
Ooh, that's a lot of bubbles.
So what is that one again? What type is it?
It is a Belgian Blonde Ale. So basically, and it's from Belgium. Like Delirium makes Delirium Tremens, Delirium Nocturnum. They're generally very high ABV beers from Belgium. This one's 8.5%, which is low for them. And the only thing is this is a 22-ounce bottle, so this will be it for me, and I'll be asleep in an hour.
So I went to a brew fest, and there's I think it's a Kentucky bourbon ale or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the guy at the counter mixed it with a vanilla porter.
Ooh, that sounds quite good.
It was a game changer.
All right. Okay.
It was a game changer. And I like going to the fest just because of the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice meeting different people from different areas, et cetera, and a lot like the people at Books and Brews. They're there to build a community, and it's really kind of cool just being able to go and talk. And people have this image of Brewfest, everyone must be like fully intoxicated. Actually, you find very responsible people there because they want to be able to enjoy themselves. They want to be able to enjoy the company of everyone else. So yeah, I've enjoyed going to those. I haven't been to one in a little while. I don't know when they're going to be back. Here's a question: do you guys do pretzel necklaces?
I do not, but I am also one that I take time out to go get food because for me, if you're at a beer festival, if you don't have something to soak things up, you go get some food. Like, problem is like some beer festivals, the food is kind of hard to find because they'll tuck it away.
Right.
But I just, if I eat pretzels, that's not going to be enough for me.
Okay. Now,
I'm a big boy and I like my food. So
let me explain pretzel necklace though.
Yeah. I don't jump in, but yeah, you go, Creed. It's your thing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go, Creed. No.
All right. So I got I forget what the fabric is called, but I went to Michael's actually and got one that I could reuse. You put bagels on it, you put pretzels, a little bit of beef jerky. If it's an indoor winter fest, you can put cheese strips and clip them on.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Lifesavers for a little mint for later. I mean, people have some fun with that, and that's the other thing. Like, people walk around and compare their pretzel necklaces. It's kind of like the cosplay of Brewfest.
I love the idea of having like cheese on the necklace and jerky. I don't know why I don't know why I've never done that. I would just be like, I don't need to go get food. I got all of it right here, baby.
Right. You got it all right there.
Right. Or I was going to say, I'm pretty, for me, the pretzel necklace is an addition to the food, not, it's not either or. And the reason is because, again, I like it because you can just, sometimes the problem with eating at the brew fest is that you're catching up, meaning you got a whole bunch of beer in your stomach, then you get food, then you're like, I almost feel like I almost avoid food at beer fest because I don't want my stomach having all that food, and then I can't get that beer. So for me, that's why I love the pretzels, because I can eat pretzels as we go, and I'm filling my stomach as we go, but it's not going to get to that point to where I'm like overbloated and I'm like wasting time at the beer fest, all full and not drinking. So I'm with you, Creed. But sometimes too, don't even get me started with beer fest. Sometimes the food is just horrible. There's lines. It's just a mess. Like, yeah. Sometimes I don't even
like it when they have the local fair.
Yeah.
And they've got like local either food trucks or if they have restaurants that come around. I think those are nice.
So can I dive? The beer festival I used to go to that has, for some reason, they stopped doing it last year because they were renovating it this year. They can't. But there's Belgium comes to Cooperstown and Omegang, and this group of friends I would go with, the one lady every year would be like, I want to get some burritos. And there was this place there that was a food truck, and their food was fucking terrible. And every year she would go and she would get a burrito, and every year she'd eat like half of it and go, this sucks, and throws it in bed. I don't know why. I just always remember every year she would go and every year she would be disappointed. And I was like, maybe just don't get food from there anymore.
That's when you pay one of the employees. If you see this woman, just tell her no.
Just say no. And there was plenty of other places there that had really great food that just for some reason she was like, I want a burrito. And sometimes when you're tipsy, you want a burrito. And the problem was those burritos were bad. So
those burritos were bad. Mm-hmm. So now since Creed here's something that no one else will know. Creed jumped the share thread earlier today. Like, that's something that we talk about in the dad bloggers, where you jump the share thread and you post. They have a share thread. Let me explain it right. They have a share thread in the dad bloggers group. Every week they come out with a share thread, and you can post what you've done lately into that, and then you can go. I like it because you can go there every week and see what everybody's doing, like what's been going on. You can almost see like everybody's stuff. It's great. But sometimes you jump the share thread because you got one that's just like, so if Creed did his earlier, the one that we talked about, the resilience piece, like Creed, you're allowed to jump the share thread for that one. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So Creed jumped the share thread earlier with the thing he didn't want to think about, because this is the time that we normally do that, is at the end of the show. So now Creed has to deal with, it's now time for our sponsor, since we did the other thing earlier. So Creed, now it's time for our sponsor.
The floor is yours. So you talk about whatever you like, man.
Right.
Oh,
You're the sponsor. We don't have sponsors, so it's all you.
Hey, man, you already paid for it. You don't know about it.
I wasn't prepared for this. This was not in the show notes.
I
just
you can talk about your blog, anything you want, man. Anything you want to talk about.
Talk about schooling from home as a teacher.
It's been an interesting several months. Couple of things that I've learned during this time. I'll go with lessons from quarantine. We are so much better when we work together. I noticed during the shutdown how people would try and name local shops, local restaurants, other ways that they can get food to people that were in need. That's when we're at our best. And I hope that's something that continues even as things open up and as tensions kind of release a bit and settle. I hope that we recognize and remember these lessons that we've learned during this time. Because I know it hasn't been easy for anybody. As a teacher, I noticed what students were going through during that time. It wasn't easy for them to be home, to be out of their routine. Their lives got turned upside down. For parents who are juggling, even more so, teachers, and let's not forget the administrators, because while kids are asking me questions, I'm asking them questions. Parents are asking them questions. Nobody was really ready for this. Nobody really expected this. And I think when we work together and when we recognize the needs in our community and we fully address them, that's when we're at our best. So I guess that's what I would share. I'd love for you guys to come and check out my blog, but I'd even more so love for you to find a way to make your community better. That's going to be bigger than any visitors I get on my site. So thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Creed, whose Facebook user? I'm not sure.
That was JHG again.
Cool. Somebody's clapping here for Creed's little comments there. Great. Everybody loves, if you don't love our Eddie, listen, here we go. If you don't love our Eddie, you can unfriend me. How about that?
I've got a great story about our Eddie at Dad too. You and I, we were.
Here it comes.
This is great. So we went out somewhere for dinner, and we were trying to get back to the hotel. We ordered an Uber. The Uber didn't come. We ordered a Lyft. The Lyft didn't come. It turned around, came back. We're trying to find this thing. I get a phone call. The lady has passed us, and we have to meet up with her. So we're trying to figure out, since it's I think a Toyota Sedona or whatever. So we're standing on the corner, and he elbows me. He's like, "Is that it?" It's a minivan with Hello Kitty stickers everywhere. I kid you not. And then the door opens, and it's like Hello Kitty threw up in this car seats, stickers, and then a skull on top of the steering wheel. And it was the most. He's looking at. I can't look at him. I'm not looking at him because I don't know. What she didn't explain it. We got in, and it was like it was normal that someone would have that much Hello Kitty stuff in their minivan and a skull on the steering wheel. But yeah, it was cool hanging out with Art.
Oh wait, so then did you guys get in, and what happened?
Oh yeah, we got in, and something's happening to my computer. We got in and we got back, and we didn't say a word of it until we got in the hotel, because we were not sure what was going on with that much Hello Kitty stuff. It was crazy. And what the best part was, when we had to meet up with her, we were standing like in an alley, and the minivan pulls up with all the stickers. I was like, "This is where it ends, dude. This is it."
Right.
I've seen this on the A-Team. This is when they get us.
And this was like really right before COVID hit.
Right.
Craziness.
Isn't that also weird, thinking about that we were there, and I went to a museum. I went to a couple of museums.
Right. We were all over Washington. We were up in bars, breweries. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in the airport having pancakes with Spike and Brandon, and on the news it flashed. It said, "Warning: avoid these places," and it said airports where we're sitting, places of worship, and schools. I'm thinking, great, I'm in an airport about to fly back home and go to a school. had no clue how much the world was going to change in such a short amount of time.
And it did.
It did.
It was like 2 seconds too. After that too, it was like 2 seconds. Lockdown done. Baseball done. Soccer done. And or whatever else was going on. NBA. It was actually NBA first.
The NBA was first because Rudy Gobert was a jackass, and that
I still can't believe. I mean, I can, but
I can.
Oh my god! I absolutely forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's like 3 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
But the neat thing about that is, like, apparently he also was like going in the locker room and like rubbing his hands all over other players' stuff.
He was licking his fingers apparently and like touching luggage.
And Donovan Mitchell got COVID, and I was like, well, I can imagine that team chemistry ain't all that hot, right?
Well, they said there's still some friction.
I imagine.
Well, that kind of shit will get you in jail now. Period. Not a question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a crime now. So I'm not laughing about it, but I'm kind of laughing about it because I'm like, man, that was a crime before it was a crime. So then we do have this. Now it's time to get back to this before we sail off into the poop deck. I said that, not you. So
Jordan Kareem.
That's where we're at.
Oh.
So then we also have, I don't know who this is, but
that would be me.
Oh. Okay.
Because I forgot to go and do the registration thing. So I was just like on my phone. I was like, wrong, Jeff.
So here's my question for Jeff, though. You're going to have.
We'll say that.
Hey, man.
Who was that? Kareem and Jordan?
He said Jordan.
You're a Boston fan and you don't have Russell?
Yep. I can buy Russell. I can buy Russell because
Russell
won how many championships? 11? Or
I can buy Russell too.
I can buy Russell. I can actually. You can make an argument for that.
I've never heard this Kareem over LeBron thing. I need to look into that a little bit.
No, but here's the thing: is like there'll be people that will give LeBron shit for going and playing with Wade and Bosch, Kareem had Eddie Johnson, James Worthy. He had a whole shit ton of stars in his team too. So did Bird. So they all had excellent players on their team. So did Jordan and Pippen. Pippen was like one of the 3 best players in the league when he was playing with Michael Jordan. Like
Rodman was amazing too.
Rodman was kind of washed up a bit towards the end. But regardless, none of them had just like Jordan had this mystique that he was just a one-man army. And he kind of was to some degree, but Pippen was there, and Pippen was fucking awesome. So,
I don't
want to go too far.
Here's Jeff's response. Oh, we're there, so we might as well just
Kareem did change the game where they outlawed dunking, and that was because of him.
I thought that was Wilt.
No, maybe it was. No, maybe I'm wrong.
Wilt couldn't shoot free throws.
No, good.
And so he would dunk from the foul line. He was Shaq before Shaq.
Yeah.
Now that's another name too. And see, here's my problem with this argument. Here's my biggest problem with this. You can't compare different eras, and you can't compare players in different positions. Jordan, I mean, best at what he did. LeBron can play the 1 through the 5. Not saying he's the best at all 5 positions, but he's a different athlete. Jordan, I'm from Cleveland. I saw what he did. I saw him as a wizard come in and annihilate my team as a wizard when he was supposed to be washed up. I know he's a bad man, but how can you really compare the two? And how can you really rank them? And then you've got Russell, who won, what was it, 11 championships?
11 out of 13 seasons, I think I saw.
That's it.
Nuts.
And so here's one more question.
But wasn't that Russell? Hold on, Creed. Hold on. Wasn't that Russell team loaded though, or no?
Yeah, they were loaded, but it was regardless. It doesn't matter. Like you're still winning 11 titles in 13 seasons, and now the league was like what? Was it 8, 10 teams? It was like not very many teams.
Right. So then, okay. I'm sorry, Creed. Go back.
So here's the question that I have: that 2015 Cavs team that went to the finals and lost. You take LeBron off of that team. You put Jordan on the team.
No.
They make it to the finals?
No.
No, was that the one where Kevin Love was hurt and
Kevin Love was hurt, Kyrie was hurt.
Oh, that trash? Please stop.
That team was a mess.
That team was. I'm sorry. That team was trash minus LeBron. Trash. Like without Kyrie, come on. Without Kyrie and Kevin Love, come on. That team was trash. Stop. I'm not hearing that.
Victor's all about Pippen. Pippen was a bad dude.
Yeah, he was.
He was a good player.
Pippen was the man, though.
Yep, I agree. Like I as also, I'm gonna say you have to put the comment from our Eddie about who he thought the GOAT was.
That?
Yeah. The big O, Orlando Woolridge.
What the hell?
All right, come on, man.
That is great. Oh my gosh.
That's the problem with this kind of argument can last.
It can last forever. It's the best argument to have because there's not really an answer.
There's no way to resolve
but
it.
People get so animated about it. I love it.
So, Creed, so while we're here, and again, I don't know how many times you've seen the show, but Doug, this has been kind of a storyline, like what do they call it? A story arc. How about this? This has been a story arc on Brothers and Boost, which is Doug going back and forth about his love/hate towards this Michael Jordan. I'm not. Again, I think Doug. I'll let Doug. My perception of what Doug says is this: like I think he enjoyed the show for what it was, but he's like he dislikes Jordan a lot, and that only reinforced his dislike of the man. It actually gave him more ammunition, in my opinion, from what I see and hear from him, to go after Jordan and shit. It didn't clear things up. So did you see this documentary? And then do you jump Doug? And if I'm wrong, Doug, jump in and say I'm wrong. But
let Creed have his say, please.
I did not see it, but I listened to all the recaps and read the articles afterwards, and see all the teammates that are mad. And here's my question to the MJ people. He might be the GOAT on the court, but if you were in that locker room and that man squared up with you because you didn't hit a shot or you didn't set a pick or whatever, is that the type of leadership that you would respond to? Some people, they'd say yes, absolutely. They love it.
People don't.
Me, that would not work. That would not work for me at all. But I don't know.
Okay, so so then the way you were just talking there, Creed, and I love how we're going to deep dive in NBA. This is great. We rarely do this, but this is great. So you just described Kobe to me. Am I wrong?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Who did Kobe beat?
Listen, because what happens is this. Look, I don't like Michael Jordan. The reason I don't like Michael Jordan, and this whole GOAT thing with Michael Jordan and LeBron, I want LeBron to end his career before I even go there. So, I want to see what LeBron's full resume is before I'm like, oh, he's the GOAT or not. So that's where I'm at with all that. But second of all, though, when I hear people talk about Michael Jordan, I hear Kobe. I'm sorry, I do. I hear somebody who is
the difference, though.
Okay. Let me finish, and then I'll let you.
Sorry.
So I hear someone who's dominant, who doesn't want to pass the ball, who is very, very what's the word I want to use? Direct. And Kobe was not afraid to call anybody out. He was a little bit nicer than MJ in the locker room, but both guys had their drive and their competitiveness is what made them who they are. And I know you're not going to argue that, but I think Kobe gets more of a pass of being with all due respect to Dick. And I'm not even talking about rest in peace, Kobe. He just passed. I'm talking about before Kobe passed. People were like, Kobe never passed, and Kobe's this, and Kobe's that. So I want to, to me, they're really close. Am I wrong, Corey?
Well, here's the difference. After Michael retired, who did he reach out to? Who did he try and build up?
His shoes.
But when Kobe was done, when he was retired, he's tweeting at guys, he's challenging guys, and he was communicating back and forth. How many players came out like during the memorial and talked about he was trying to get me to up my game. He was trying to motivate them. And yeah, it might be a little different because MJ's an owner and he can't do that. I don't know. But I felt like there was a difference in him post-retirement that we didn't get to see with MJ. And MJ has the famous, Hall of Fame speech where he called out the dude that made the team in high school that he got cut from. And obviously, we don't get to see what Kobe would say during his Hall of Fame enshrinement, but I kind of have a feeling it would be different.
No. I feel you. I'm not gonna. Touche. I'll shut up.
I don't know.
You have something? No. Touche. You got me there, man. I asked you a question and you answered it. So I never thought they were equal as far as that goes. But I know that Kobe was, again, hard driven, and but I think I'm with you. I think he was a little step below Jordan in this level of and then don't even get me started on how these two live their personal lives. If you want to bring that in, I'm not going to bring that in.
But what I will say is a lot of stuff Kobe did post-retirement was about he was kind of obsessed with learning how leadership worked.
Yes.
Jordan, no, he just said, I'm the most competitive dude here. If you can't live up to my standards, then fuck off.
So what I'm hearing is that Kobe took the edge off as we got older.
Maybe, but see, that leadership isn't just getting your finger in somebody's face and telling somebody you need to do this. There are times for that, for certain. But if that is your only way to motivate people, then that isn't it. Sorry, there are people that famously Brad Sellers was somebody who couldn't play with them, and Sellers was a super talented guy, but couldn't handle the freaking just continual verbal assaults because Jordan was an asshole. He was a great player. He was the most talented basketball player I've ever seen. But
he's an asshole, in my opinion.
So that's just my opinion. Maybe Creed, you're disagreeing with me, and that's okay. But Michael Jordan also brought in my least favorite style of basketball, the hero ball shit. Where, all right, we just have one guy who handles the ball for 20 seconds and throws up a shot. That is not basketball to me.
Oh.
And but he ushered that in. If you look at the scores of games Jordan in the later part of his career and after he retired, the scores were here's a game and it's 80-75 and it's like a rugby match. That's not fun to watch. I want to see you guys moving the ball. There's some artistry to watching the Lakers and the Celtics. Even though if you watch it now and it looks like everybody's in 10 square feet, they all know where and they move and all that stuff. And I don't know. There's an artistry to playing basketball that sort of stuff doesn't. I can admire his ability and I can admire how maniacal he was about winning, but I don't like that style of basketball.
Creed, I love when Doug gets all worked up and he goes on rants. He doesn't.
Listen, I'm a basketball.
He does.
I'm not an idiot. I understand it. I
don't know, but I'm just saying. I try to get Doug worked up and he doesn't, and I'm always worked up. So it's great to see when Doug's like, you know what? Fuck Michael Jordan. I love it. I don't even have to agree with it, Creed. I just love the. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not an easy guy to anger, and I'm not angry. It's just it just feels like everybody just glosses over all the shit that was not great.
And Gil agrees with me. He loves getting Doug all worked up.
Hey, Gil, why don't you go take some more pictures of that walker that's no longer in the tree?
That was great. Oh, I love
Wasn't that
the
awesome?
Walker watch. Oh, that was great.
No. I didn't. I just saw it ended. I didn't see
It
the
did, because somehow
Oh,
it was
you gotta go back. You gotta go back.
I saw it ended. I saw like it was over, and then I never really like. I don't know. It's one of those things. You ever, you get online and then you're like scrolling. You're like, oh, I gotta go back to that. I never went back. So like,
Actually, you know what? Here's what we need to ask Gil. You need to take those pictures. We need a short. We need you to make a Walker Watch short. Put some creepy music in it.
And then
We'll
submit it to the
Cannes or to the Oscars or whatever.
yeah, I'm like,
Man, we got you. Walker Watch.
submit it to the Cannes Film Festival. That's the kind of weird shit they like.
like Blair. Is it the Blair Witch? Make it like Blair Witch. Am I wrong?
Camera move back and forth just a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not wrong. So anyway, here, Creed, we're gonna let you go, but we're not gonna let you go before we get through all these comments or get to some of these because they're gonna come back.
There's a lot of comments. So.
So Jeff, I think we're back to Michael Jordan here.
Yep.
Yeah. That.
So
I agree.
The human part out of it. Jeff took the human.
Mm-hmm.
There was a human side of this, wasn't there? Or was it just all Jordan's an asshole? I didn't see it at all, actually.
It was like there was some more humanity to it about his father passing away and how he processed that. So yeah, that's part of that, and for sure. And you can get some humanity out of that, but then you see stuff where he's doing some crazy game with this guy who is like a security guy, and the game is to throw a coin as close as you can to the wall, and he was gambling with a guy on that, like, and I was just like, okay. And some people think that's great. Oh, that shows how competitive he was. I'm like, that's a problem. Try for help. What are you talking about? So I don't know. Everybody views it differently, and like I said, there's parts of it that made him way more human, but there's parts of it just like, okay, yeah, that's not someone I ever would have wanted to play basketball with ever in my life.
And for the record, I call Michael Jordan a dick because of all the stories of him not giving people tips. That's my problem with him, actually. The biggest thing I have is like, come on, dude. Like, come on, man. But anyway, so Gil says, okay, so you get to pick one guy in his prime to play for your team if your life depended on it, y'all.
Who are they playing? Who else is on the team? I mean, those factors matter.
For sure.
You get one guy. Who is it?
And to Creed's point, it depends on what era you're playing in.
Oh, you motherfuckers can't give a straight answer, though.
No, but the thing is, it's not a straight answer question.
Shaq, in his prime, there was nobody better.
Who? Wait.
Shaq or Hakeem?
Shaq.
Oh, Shaq. Okay, Shaq. I thought you said Chuck, and that would have meant Barkley. I was like, whoa.
Hey, I was a big Barkley fan. I
like Barkley too, but I'm not sure if he should be.
No.
But
I would go Shaq.
There's a 2-year stretch where Hakeem Olajuwon was better than any center I'd ever seen in my life. And it was just only like a 2 or 3 year stretch. And he just did stuff I've never seen a man that big.
His work was phenomenal.
We need to have an NBA.
Ooh, I'm all in on that.
Well, you want to have an NBA discussion?
I want a whole thing about that because I can talk basketball.
When the NBA starts up here, let's do something, Don.
July 31st.
Let's do something. Come on now.
It'll be interesting. So we could do something like that. Greg, I'm totally down. We could have a freaking Zoom and just have everybody jump on and
sure. Or we can have one of these.
Tell me I'm wrong about MJ. It'll be great.
Make it like a battle royal where every 10 minutes a new person gets added in.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be awesome.
One last question before we let Creed go here. Because I brought it up, so we might as well, and we've been talking about it. What did you guys thoughts, quick hitters, as far as how the NBA is going to end? Like, if it ends like they're going to be, they're going to put everybody down at Disney and finish the season. Is the season going to feel like a real season to you? Is it like, so say everybody goes through and I guess the best team now is the Milwaukee Bucks. So if the Milwaukee Bucks win this, the NBA championship, are you going to be like, yeah, they won the NBA championship, move on, or you're going to be like, that shit's weird. This is a season with an asterisk.
I think the closest thing or analogy I can make was, what was that, 94 when baseball went on strike? And like you had I remember Matt Williams was on a tear for home runs, and Montreal was possibly going to make the playoffs, and then it just disappeared. Then 95 came, and Cleveland made the World Series. So that was kind of weird. It's going to be odd finishing a season in October. Here's my big question. You have no off season then, right?
Not really. Because what they're talking about it is they would start, I think what they're trying to promote is that if they do a second season after that, they're going to start on Christmas Day, which is kind of something they've always wanted to do. So yeah, it ends on like October 12th is the last day of the finals if you have 7-game series. So you have.
I actually heard, Creed, that they might use the pandemic to do what Doug says, which is start the year way later and just go with that as the new norm. So that's what I don't know. Doug, did you answer my question?
I don't think it'll be an asterisk because of the amount of games they're going to put in. Now they're doing this thing, and again, I could talk basketball all day, but like they're part of the reason they're coming back, and what they're doing is they're having a 8-game warm-ups. And the reason they're doing 8 games is because most teams are at 62 games or more. And their TV contract isn't valid unless they have 70 games, which means that's if they get to 70 games, then all the players get paid, everybody gets paid, the TV contract gets honored. There's a part to this that is money driven, which, hey, they're a business, so whatever. But I don't. What they're doing is normally they have 16 teams that get into the playoffs, and right now they're bringing back 22. So they bring back 16 teams that would be in the playoffs if we started today, and then they bring. So it's 22. So 3 teams that are within each side to try to figure out through some regular season games, and I think playoff. Then try to go through it from there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I'm really intrigued.
Well, one last comment, and we'll set Creed a sail in the poop deck. I said it, not you, Creed. Jeff feels that all these spots will be a shell. These sports will be a shell of themselves. But if it's equal playing field, then the champ should be recognized as a champ without asterisk. You guys agree? No? Or
that's fair as long as it's not Boston. That's what I was going for.
Right. So Creed, I'm also gonna hold you to the Browns going to the playoffs, which
they're going to the playoffs.
Oh.
If they don't, I will root for the Patriots in the playoffs.
They're not. The Patriots aren't making it.
I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah, you just gave it up, man, because of Govea or anybody.
Although,
fucking never heard this shit.
You're not going to root for Pittsburgh?
I did that once. I
just heard that.
Mistake.
You just
I got a lot of love for Pittsburgh, though. I went to school in Pennsylvania, so I got a lot of friends that are Steeler fans, and we go back and forth.
Yeah, but you ain't going there. Come on.
No, I'm not. No, because the Browns are going to make it to the playoffs, so we're not going to have to worry about anything.
I'm not sure who's agreeing with us, but somebody.
Oh, no. That was JHG.
No. Bye, JHG. What is this? Love you? Is this JHG?
Yeah, it's him again.
Oh, why am I even? No.
Then he did Pat Riots. I think he fucked up with the period there. Don't put that in there.
Again, Brian Hoyer, is that who we're supposed to be concerned with, JHG?
Hey, man, listen, I'm a Jaguars fan. I'm a Jaguars fan. I got Gardner Minshew.
I don't know. We'll see, man. Gardner Minshew, I don't know. I might want him more than Baker next year.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, Creed. Creed, listen, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm ready. This is where I'm at. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So
Ding, 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 ding.
I can't put any faith into the Browns until I see something, Creed. And the reason is because I was all up Freddie Kitchens' ass last year. I thought he was great. I thought it was going to work out. I thought him and Baker were thought it was all going to be copacetic, and it blew up. So fuck all that. Creed, if this wasn't a live stream, I'd probably say something different. But and the reason I say that is because I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say it. I want to believe. I think we got the coach. I think we got the GM. I really believe that. But it's always this big setup, Creed. I always think that it's going to happen, and then it blows up in my face. I don't even have an analogy. So
you went very Fox Mulder there, Greg. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, but it's the truth, though. When have the Browns done anything after anything? Nothing. So
not since Brian Sipe.
I was in the 8th grade.
Man, remember those years, man? Those, the AFC Championship years.
I do.
Houston Oilers and the freaking. Remember the Houston Oilers?
The first game I went to was a Browns game against the Oilers, and it was I think it was the pass interference call where they had the 30-minute delay. My dad got tickets for the we were in the dog pound, the original dog pound.
I was there once too.
The original dog pound where they carried in a dog house at the beginning of the game, and it took 20 people because it had a keg in it. And then after the game, it only took 3 people to carry the house out.
I'm sure.
But I remember as a kid, I was sitting there and people were throwing batteries and
batteries. Yeah, the batteries.
Dog biscuits. I walked out with a concussion. But I remember, Warren Moon. I remember Elway. I remember all that stuff. I remember Sipe. I remember Kozar. I remember the Ice Cube, Gerald McNeil,
Eric Metcalf.
Eric Metcalf.
Let's go, Reggie Longhorn.
Yes. I also remember when Belichick was our coach, and it would be 4th and
he sucked.
And would send Metcalf middle on a draw.
Ozzie Newsome.
Yep. Yep.
No. Eric Metcalf. Kevin Mack.
Yep.
Biner.
Mack and Biner were the best backfield for the longest time.
Michael Dean Perry.
Yes.
Come on now, man.
Yes. The bridge.
Look, we might as well just get rid of Doug here, and we can just say we just have a Cleveland conversation. We don't have to hear about his Gardner and all that other fucking shit.
Yeah, you can't forget Menefield and Dixon.
Whoa, we would have missed Doug pounding. Look at this. So Creed, I don't even want to end the stream, man, because we're just having too much fun. But I should let you go unless we're gonna, go forever. But any last comments you want to say? Any last jabs you want to take at Jeff Tepper here before we go, or anything?
No. Appreciate you guys having me on. Guys, be nice to each other. Do something. Make a difference.
Thank you for the message, man. All seriousness, though, because we've been joking forever. All seriousness, man. Thanks for your again talking about your piece on the blog was timely. It was amazing. Again, Doug, thanks for asking that question because it wouldn't have come out of my mouth because I completely forgot. I remember the whole experience of you saying that. I remember being there and all that, but I don't remember. I just didn't remember in that context. And Doug was like, we got to talk about this. So,
I'm telling you, that freaking just reading it now just shook. I read it again today, and I was just like, fuck. That just shook me. So,
well, thank you.
Thanks, Creed. I wanted to say thanks again. Obviously, Victor enjoyed it. Daniel Fisher says cheers. Thanks, Creed. And we need to have again. So about this Cleveland Browns thing, we're gonna have to clear this up at the end of the year. So you're gonna have to come back, and we're gonna have to discuss.
Maybe we can have the playoff start and
we should have you on the Friday before the next Cleveland Browns playoff game.
The Friday, and so in 3 years,
28.
No, 2021. That's fine. It'll be January 2021.
All right. I'll be there. We're going this year.
Oh, man.
That's our date.
Was high.
Creed, thank you.
Thanks,
Guys.
Hang around if you want because we'll be having drinks, or at least I will be.
Yeah,
But I won't be going to the shower with it because, well, rules.
Well,
So, rules. Fuck rules. Anyway, sorry, Creed. See you, buddy.
great. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
But fuck rules and all that shit. So, and I agree with Tepper. I'm just glad Creed did not endorse this shower beer nonsense.
Listen. You can think it's nonsense. It's shit. Even First Sip Brewbox agreed with me. Those guys drink beer all the fucking time.
First Sip Brewbox did agree with you. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not with Tepper. I want to be open, but you guys.
I didn't shit on you for it. Like, maybe don't take a glass in there, but like, fuck it, you're enjoying it. Like, who cares?
Right. Well, I'm not. Again, like I said, like you're the guy who always talks about shower beers. So I need to attack shower beers and not attack you because you were actually one of the nice people to me and kind of understood and then come after me. But I know you did, and
So
I know
the thing for me with that was like, I know we always pour beers in glass because you want to have the pour, you want to see how it looks.
Right. So,
but the thing is with the shower beer, it should be something you know.
Oh, okay.
So, like, for instance, I took an Allagash White. I've had Allagash White 100 times. I know what it tastes like. I don't need to look at it.
No.
But it's a light beer. I like it, and I took it in the shower. So I think maybe that you were trying. So great.
Yeah. And again, we're back to this. I mean, who the hell bring right? And this is someone from the group. And it's great.
JHG, he's still fucking with you.
Fuck JHG. But listen though. well, listen though, Doug. This isn't our first rodeo, and this isn't your first rodeo with the group coming after you. So you know how I feel. You know how I feel now because I never had my group really come after me. I guess I'm used to just posting pictures and everybody saying, Greg, you're great. And then when everybody says Greg's not great, I get all pissy. And it's fine. It's cool. Like,
I think I got more shitty comments about me storing my beers sideways in a fridge than I did that. So
you got worse than me, for sure. And actually,
hey,
they were very nice, but I didn't like it. So it didn't matter.
I think people were generally trying to be helpful in both instances.
I know. I took it. It was I was being butthurt or whatever you want to call it. I got it. I know I got it. Like, it doesn't make it any better though.
All right, man. So let's do some reviews of what you have beer wise. What did you like? What did you?
Beer, it's a great way to help relax. Yeah, if people don't fucking bitch,
that's for sure. Hey, people don't give you shit for it. That was Aaron Schroeder, who's an Xbox friend of mine.
So. Whatever, he's right. It doesn't matter who it is, he's right. But anyway, Doug, what were your beers? Because we had a crazy night. I don't even think I even showed my third one. It was delish. But I'll let you go first, and then I'll jump on him.
Okay, so I'm going to say two of mine were not as good as I had hoped.
Aww.
So this one was, I really had high hopes for this. It's a Pilsner.
Because of Ozzy and shit.
It was not crisp.
Oh.
And you know how it is, a Pilsner. You gotta nail the Pilsner. You could be a hoppy Pilsner, and that's great, but you got to be crisp. Not crisp. I'm wondering if maybe it was a can. I have 4 others, so I'm going to try them and let you know how that is.
Is it old?
This coffee blonde was it was okay. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, but it was not outstanding by any stretch. Mm-hmm. So it was good, and I would drink it again, but like, it's not something to be like, hey man, you got to go try that coffee ale. It's not that. So the winner is definitely the Deliria, which was the woman brewed beer from Delirium, and
from Joe,
and it's just fucking good. Like, it I don't know. It's a Belgian Blonde Ale, and it was everything you want from Belgian Blonde Ale, and it was like 8.5%, which I was. It doesn't drink like that, doesn't look like that, but
the fix was in because that's delirium was good stuff.
Everything I've had from them has been great, and when I saw that was something that was made by women, it was supporting breast cancer awareness. I'm in.
Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna go in the order that I drank them because there's a reason. So then I don't know. I didn't really talk about it that much because I was talking about here. Actually, let me put on the bottom here. I was talking about Black Lives Matter earlier, so we're gonna do that here. But so I didn't really get to talk about Fuck COVID, which is a pilsner from Ale Asylum, charity beer. Pretty good. They nailed it. It wasn't as snappy as I wanted it to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes I guess we have to agree that they make pilsners that aren't snappy that to our level. So then
my question would be, did you prefer that one versus the other beer that you had that was a Fuck COVID beer that was the second version? Which one would you prefer?
I prefer the second version only because it's hoppy and you know where I'm at with the hops.
Okay.
So then Tonic was my second from Southern Tier. Fantastic. Light, crisp, really all that, the gin wasn't even, I couldn't even taste the gin. It was really good. I like it. And then what happened was I had a Scotch ale and I had a Belgian double in my bag here. All right. This is my bag. I keep my beers cold during the show. These are great too for, I don't know if you ever transport beer in the summer, you go on a picnic. Mm-hmm. These things are awesome, man. I love them. Anyway, as you can see, I still had two beers in here. One was a Scotch ale, one was a double. After having this gin and tonic, I wanted something hoppy. I didn't want anything more. So then I went off the show and you guys were talking, you guys were doing your thing, and then I ended up with a Volvetian Habit, which is a Ale Asylum bursting with Citra, Cascade hops. It has hop presence and blah, 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 whatever. It's a big hoppy, has a lot of hops, but it has also malt balance.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you can see
that was good.
This is a big IPA. Yeah. Pretty good, man. Malt balance, all that wonderful stuff. So Ale Asylum, cheap as hell. I've been talking about it forever. So yeah, that was my third. That was pretty good. I don't know if they're all pretty good. They're all different in their own way, and I don't know if one was better than the other one. So I just did like the way through. So next week, Doug, because we are on, man. Next week is going to be hot fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna have beer and popcorn and just sit there and watch the fireworks.
It's going to be great. And actually, I'm not. Listen, we have to be a little bit concerned with these two because
maybe,
they're rebel rousers, and they may flip the whole switch on us because again,
the thing is with Aaron, he's going to come after me, and I'm all for it. So bring it.
Well, and Afro Beatrix going to come after me. So and you. So
yeah.
I
think I'm just going to do an all lineup of porters next week just to fuck with her.
The only Aaron and I we don't fuck with each other in this way. We're actually there's no shots taken ever, and I don't know. Maybe I take some shots at Aaron, but he never comes back at me. So he doesn't want to I don't know. Maybe he'll start, but it's gonna be on next week. It's probably gonna be like a 2-hour show.
I can't imagine how it would be anything less than a 2-hour show.
Book. She has a podcast. Aaron has 2 books actually. One he's already written, one he's writing with his wife, I believe. So there's going to be so much to talk about. They're both combative. They're both very, very outspoken about current affairs. So we will be talking about Black Lives Matter. We will be talking about Donald Trump. We will be talking about all of it next week. So if you're
white male masculinity and
all these things are things that you don't want to talk about, you don't think we should get into, next week is probably going to be the week you should miss. But at the same time, next week is the week that you need to be here because it's going to be so crazy with these two. I can't even. It's just not even going to be. I don't even know.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait.
Bring it. I don't even know who's saying bring it, but it's this is gonna be unlike any other Brothers and Booze show.
I'm pretty sure you're right there. I don't know that. So we've had some fucking just great guests. We really have.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things you just go, man, we're getting some people that just fucking they get it and they're part of it, and you're just like, oh shit, this is gonna be awesome. And it always turns out better than we think.
Right.
That's the thing, you're just like, this is great, and then you're like, oh shit, this is better than I had hoped.
Right, and I don't want to even.
How many times we run into it? We're like, holy fuck, this has been like, it's been an hour and a half, and we could go longer. I mean, just you have booked some amazing guests, so kudos.
Well, this one was natural. Wouldn't it be weird if Aaron was just chill?
Yeah, Victor's saying that, and the other one, bring it, was JHG, and yeah, that would be super weird. Also, Vernon Gibbs dropped in and said, "Hey."
Yeah, that's yeah. So no, but like no, really though, just so everybody knows how this was all booked. Aaron was on our show, and he was talking about his upcoming book, which I think should have dropped next week or the week after, because we booked him the week before his book was supposed to drop. So he's on the show, and Afro Beer Chick was, she jumped on our YouTube thing, and she saw Aaron, and she's like, man, like I can really get into this. I'm loving that you guys are talking about, because Aaron's book is about, what is his book about again?
It's basically white male masculinity and fragility and things of that nature, and raising your kids to not fall into that.
Yes, I think it's specifically talking about your boys. Like, we need to talk to our boys. Okay, great. So then Afro Beer Chick was like, man, you guys are talking about, this is great. I might get this book. So then during the whole thing, I said, well, why don't we just all come back? Why don't you come on with Aaron? She's like, yes. So it actually has something that came through the show. Mm-hmm. And so they don't know each other. They've never met. So they've never been on the show together. So putting these two together is great. And then Doug, one last thing that we will drop here, and we should, is that Doug and I will be making an appearance on Afro Beer Chick's podcast. I'm not sure if that'll be out before she comes on our show, but it will be either right before or right after. We're going to have an appearance this weekend on the show. Yep. So you guys will be able to see the first time that Doug and I are on another show together, not this one. So that's going to be fun, interesting. We haven't done it yet. And hopefully I can shut up enough that Doug can get in some fucking words. That's what I'm going to work on the podcast.
Hey, man, we all get on our words. Like, I get in a shitload. I'm happy, man. Don't worry about that.
I know, but sometimes I feel like I talk over you, or I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, I look past some of these shows, and I'm like, dude, just shut up and let Doug talk. So it's cool.
Nobody wants to hear my stupid voice made for newspaper. So yeah, trust me, you're better off.
Your voice made for newspaper. And you know what? I think that's the best thing to leave on. I'm almost gonna make a banner, but we'll just leave. Yeah. Doug, thank you for being you. I'll see you this weekend when we do Afro Beer Chicks podcast. And the next time that Doug and I will be together was right down here, which is Brothers and Brews Afro Beer Chick. I believe I have 2 Meet My Friend shows, but I believe that they're in the afternoon. One is confirmed. I'm doing Marshall Shot, Brewlosophy, a home brewer. It's going to be awesome for your home brewers. You can check in 11 a.m. Central Tuesday. It's out there. You'll see it. And then next week is again big ass show. Aaron Govea and Afro Beer Chick. I don't know how I got
to that, dude. I am so excited.
I really don't how it all worked out somehow, but this is just going to be.
That's a lot of stars aligning, so it's going to be great
for every show. But this one, I don't even know what I'm going to do. So, and it's coming at a great time because current events, when it's taped, a lot of heavy shit going around in our country. So I hope that everybody can watch the show next week and just get some laughs, and we're going to talk about some serious shit too, though. So don't worry. I mean,
I'm sure that'll be in there too. But
it's going to be a grab bag.
Serious shit, but it's going to be up with a lot of humor injected, and we'll get to hear like After Beer Chick's great at making mixed drinks, putting all kinds of crazy shit together and making it work.
Yeah.
Aaron's not a beer head, but Aaron, but that's okay. He doesn't have to be. That guy, I love that guy, and I'm just can't wait till he's on here talking to After Beer Chick because she's fucking great. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. And again, all these, it's funny because we book, what people don't understand is we book months out, or people who come on the show understand because we book months out. So we book months out, and then when this shit's rolling in, and you have the current events coming, and it just always seems to work out wherever, how we book or whatever. It's just amazing. We need to keep it going. And I'm going to click end broadcaster. Doug and I are going to sit here for another fucking hour and talk. And if you guys are cool, hey, we have the most people watching right now, Doug, than the whole fucking show. So apparently, as I told Creed, people actually like to watch us, even though I don't believe that.
You guys are fucked up. But we love you.
Again, this is why I keep this tweet around. I'm clicking end broadcast. We love you guys.
Everybody, we love you. Everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yep. Thanks for supporting us. Stay safe. All that stuff. We'll see you guys next week with a crazy ass show. There's no